Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. In the first story, we tell you how disrespectful treatment of employees got a terrible customer what he deserved. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Impatience over pizza. Quite some time ago, I worked for a pizza place. On weekdays, we were slow enough that I would take calls, make the pizzas, and do delivery, and the manager would be my backup while I was out, and when it was dead, we'd just hang out and talk about whatever. It was on a day like this that I got this call. I'll skip the part where I confirm who he is. Our system pops up with a message. This guy is a chronic complainer, which is code for scams for free pizza. Great. FML. Order was for delivery. Me. Okay, what would you like to order today? C. I'd like a large meat lover's pizza with no pork and no chicken, no pork, no chicken, and extra cheese. Me. Okay, a meat lover's pizza comes with C. I know what it comes with. Me. Okay, but C. Meat lovers, no chicken, no pork, extra cheese. Me. Sir, if I ring it up, C. Under breath. Jesus Christ. Just put the order in for a meat lover's, no chicken, no pork, extra cheese. At this point, I loudly repeat this back into the phone to make sure my manager hears it. Here's why. A meat lover's pizza is one of the most expensive ones you can order. Adding toppings to it costs more typically because you won't get any special pricing. It's not cost prohibitive. But this comes into play in a minute. The toppings on a meat lover's are chicken, ham, pork, bacon, pork, pepperoni, pork sausage, pork, Italian sausage, pork, beef sausage. So literally, he's ordering a large beef sausage pizza, extra cheese for the price of a large meat lover's extra cheese. Also, we had a 2 toppings large deal for half the cost of a meat lover's extra cheese. Me. Will that complete your order? C. Yes, how long? Me. I can have it to you in 20 minutes. Click. Me. Rude. You hear that, boss? Manager. Yeah, 1 large sausage, extra cheese. You good? Me. Yup. So I make the pizza, I cut it when it comes out of the oven, I put it in a box, I drive it out to him. I like doing all the steps myself on these calls, especially because customers often play the someone there made a mistake card. The guy gives me cash, exact change, no tip, and opens the box. He gives me a death glare and says, "Where are the rest of my toppings?" Me. That's what you ordered, it matches the ticket. C. No, it isn't. I ordered a meat lover's. Me. Yeah, all the other meats have pork or chicken. C. I meant like no ham or bacon. I'm calling your manager. This is unacceptable. Me. You do that. Have a good one. When I get back, the manager looks at me and said, "That guy's going to die of a heart attack. That's for damn sure. He ordered another one, full price. Go look at the ticket." I do. Cheese, beef sausage, Italian sausage, and pepperoni. So I did it again. Make, bake, cut, box, deliver. When I arrived, the guy looked kind of smug, but I couldn't figure out why since he hadn't scammed us this time. I asked for the payment. He asked to see the pizza first. I opened the box and he went to grab it out of my hands. I barely evaded by jerking backwards and said, "Money first, dude." He tried to grab it again, so I dodged and jogged back to the car with the pizza. I saw a neighbor watching and shaking their head while the customer was yelling all kinds of things like, "I'm going to get you fired," and "F you," and so on. I locked the pizza in the car, jogged over to the neighbor, and asked them to do me a small favor. By the time I got back, the neighbor had called my boss and described what had happened. He'd asked me if that's what happened, and I said yes, so he logged an attempted theft from that customer, and that's how we got a system update to not deliver to that customer anymore. And yeah, we ate the pizza. And our second story. Solving the problem by way of suggestion. Nearly 2 years after I married my wife, our daughter was born. 6 months later, I lost my job and managed to pick up a couple part-time jobs here and there. This prompted me to go back to college, and it seemed for the longest time that if I wasn't in class or studying, I was working. One job in particular, delivering pizzas, I really enjoyed for its mind-numbing simplicity. My coworkers were laid back, a couple of whom I still keep in touch with, and the first general manager was amazing. Always had my back, real stand-up fella, wanted to be a pastor. I got along with them, they got along with me, we knew our boundaries. I had a family life, 2 other jobs, and college courses to boot, so they stuck to my schedule without question. Suffice to say that GM found his pastorship and moved on. My coworker, who was the senior-most employee at the time, was in the running for the now open position. As the business world would have it, corporate passed him over and transferred in this new manager, Brittany, from the next town over. A real white trash town, honestly. And holy hell did she fit the bill. Slammed monster Java drinks constantly, 4 in a shift on a normal day, 80 pounds overweight, swore like a sailor, had 2 kids, 13 and 3 years old, with different baby daddies, complained constantly about not getting her due child support, always smelled like cigarettes, smoked with her kids in the car, intentionally listened to Nickelback. I could go on. The day she stepped in as manager, she wanted everybody to know it. She didn't even begin to try to see how we functioned as a well-operating, smooth-running store. Fact is, we were the only shop of this national brand in this rapidly growing town of 100,000 plus, and we could handle it well. First thing she did was rearrange the store on a Friday morning. So come the dinner rush, nobody on the fresh evening shift knew where a damn thing was. We crashed hard. 2-hour wait times for carryout, orders constantly messed up, haphazard kitchen practices. Closers ended up leaving 4 hours after closing. Thankfully, I was just a driver, so I was in and out in under 3 minutes and just watched the evening grow worse from the outside in. This is the main reason why I enjoyed that job. To prove her authority, she wouldn't let us clock out on time. We had to wait until she told us that it was time for us to go. This could be up to 2 hours after our shifts were up. And according to the employee handbook, this was legal to the letter. I don't recall the exact phrasing, but it was something akin to the manager is allowed to keep an employee after a scheduled clock-out time to keep up with demand or something like that. Within the first week, 7 people up and quit. Granted, this was all part of her grand scheme to restock the store with people of her choosing that she knew she could control. The only reason I didn't quit was that, because of my outside schedule, hunting for another job to fit my current situation just wasn't an option. Plus, this easy job was the closest thing I got to a day off most weeks, and the tips were great, so I stuck around. It became quickly evident that she was a terrible manager. She couldn't keep necessities in stock. Every day we had to tell customers we ran out of this topping or that soda or some menu item. She'd be gruff with the customers, loudly groan and complain whenever a call or online order came in during a lull, and never quality checked what was being sent out, unless an inspection was due, because instead of doing managery type things and running the show, she'd be on the line making pizzas during the rush. Obviously, our numbers plummeted. Where once the store was making nearly $10,000 a week, by the month following her hiring, she was pulling in $3,500. At its worst, we were hardly pulling in $1,800 weekly. Some days, we couldn't clear $200. I don't know how we remained open, and because she wasn't making her numbers, she'd bitch to her employees that she wouldn't be getting her bonus, and we all needed to work harder. Yeah, F that, she gotta go. Now, I'm pretty good at getting people to like me. It comes easily to me. I can make a fast friend with almost no effort, whether I want to or not. Brittany was a case wherein I didn't especially want to, but I didn't want to be on her bad side either. So I made a concerted effort just to talk to her like I'd talk to anyone else. I made quick jokes, have a good time, and all around not take myself too seriously. Seems to lighten people up. Fast forward nearly a year, I was still keeping up this lifestyle, getting close to finishing my associates and on target to transfer to a state university within the next year to finish out my degree. Still, nobody likes Brittany. She continued to be a B. But at least she was a nice B to me, and had actually come to me asking my opinion and advice on store matters or new hires a few times. I guess I seemed responsible, or at the very least, mature. Then she started taking time off somewhat sporadically, 4 or 5 days off every couple of months, then about once a month, then about every other week. She confided in me that she's been meeting up with her old high school fling 2 states over, dragging her kids along so she could hook up with this white trash fella who's fully devoted to his part-time Walmart gig and government income/disability. He's got a red 80s model Ford pickup with Confederate flags painted on the doors. Real piece of work. Then she starts talking about how she doesn't know where this relationship is going. I mean, I like the guy and all, but the drive effing sucks. Then it hits me. This is my chance, so I say to her, "Why don't you just move out there? I'm sure you can transfer." She cocked her head to the side, squinted at me, and said, "Really? You think so?" Drat, she's on to me, I thought, so I decided to roll with it. Well, why not? If that's where you'd prefer to be. Do you even like being here? For the next couple of days, she seemed fairly absent-minded, even more so than usual. At the end of the week, she came up to me and told me she was going to do it. She was going to fulfill her white trash dreams and drag her kids to a trailer in a cornfield to live with this high school nostalgic fling. A month later, she was gone. She tried adding me on Facebook, but I never responded. Found out through someone else who still kept up with her. About 3 months after she moved out there, things went predictably south, and now she's stuck in the middle of nowhere working a deadbeat job. It always feels good when crappy people get crappy outcomes. And our last story. A lawyer power couple attempted to frame a PTA president. The wife of a lawyer power couple was picking up their son from school where the PTA president was volunteering. The president made an innocent remark about the son being a little slow to line up and apologized to the wife profusely for not having the son ready to go. This apparently infuriated the wife to no end, who then hatched an elaborate scheme with her husband to plant illegal stuff, the whole set, in the PTA president's car to destroy her. The officer who responded to the anonymous call, made by the husband, had a tingly feeling about how unusual the circumstances surrounding the drug bust was and launched an investigation into who actually put the pills in the PTA president's car. With her help, the lawyers were eventually arrested, charged, convicted, and jailed. The husband was fired from his $400,000 a year job where he was an equity partner in a prestigious law firm. The wife wasn't working and relied entirely on the husband for income. She was also sleeping with someone on the side, which came out in the investigation. Both of their law licenses were suspended. The civil suit filed by the PTA president saw judgment in her favor for $5.7 million. The father of the wife may also be on the hook for part of that judgment, as the two lawyers transferred their property to his name in trust just before the trial began in order to conceal their assets. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.